Here's a video. I found one from a year ago when the ponds weren't even put in. And here's one as we are today. We are a National Wildlife Federation certified wildlife habitat. Lots of plants. I've got iris and sweet woodruff and phlox and daylilies and snapdragons and daisies and holly, azaleas, some Japanese pyrrhus, and I even found a hibiscus that was on sale. So lots of interesting things in the walk down to the ponds. And of course, now the ponds are in. And there's clover all around to make it nice and green and good for bunnies and deer. My sweet woodruff is that other huge amount of green there, which has just gone crazy. It's a good ground cover. And we have come so far this year with the pond that we're going to have a wedding here July 14th. That's why I have my flower baskets hanging. Normally I would not have them hanging down here, as I think it's a little bit more natural without. But because of the wedding, I have put in the 2 flower baskets here of petunias and one over there of basically wedding colors. But it's looking quite good. Ponds are in. I even saw a goldfish in the lower one yesterday, so I know that the raccoon didn't get them all. I will be changing the filter in the next day or so. I do have some carrot grasses in here and hostas and a purple shamrock, some Japanese taro. And let's see, on the other side, I've got some Jacob's ladder, some Solomon seal, lots of sedum. Do have some pachysandra and a little tiny white azalea is in there, and it did flower actually. It's got one little white flower on it in the middle, but you can't really see that. Maybe I can pan in. Oh, that's as close as I can get. Anyway, in the middle there's a white flower. Oh yeah, I can see it. And I have the pachysandra in there and some oxalis and the sedum. And then I've got to straighten up my cattails because those have all flopped over from the raccoon. I think what I'm going to do is just cut them off and then straighten them up. And looks like I've got some that are coming up straight. And the bushes over to the back of the pond, those are willows. But it looks quite nice. And the sound is amazing. And yesterday I noticed when I was down here pulling weeds and cutting off the loose ends of my runnera, I noticed something that I hadn't seen before. On my corkscrew reed, we have tiny little flowers. See how pretty those are? So it is very happy here. I've got one that's growing in the water, and I've got the one here that is above the water. And the one down there, well, yeah, I guess it's got some flowers. I can see them in the water themselves. And then I have the spotted lungwort that flowers. And they're flowering up again. I've also got the purple penstemon. But even though this lungwort has leaves that aren't looking too hot, because we've had rain after rain after rain, and these are susceptible to mildew, it's still beginning to flower again. And I've got the large hostas, which the holes are not from slugs. I watched the crows the other day, and the crows came down and pecked the heck out of them. So I can't really blame the slugs. Holes in the lower ones are slugs. And I believe that's an autumn frost one. And then underneath, I probably have one of my fire and ice ones. So that area is going to get very large. And that's looking back. And all this clover has come in. The clover on the hill over there, I planted just this spring. The clover more down here along the side of the pond, and along this way I planted last fall. And I just mowed it, and I don't know whether it was because I mowed it or what, but I'm starting to get more clover flowers on it. A lot more clover flowers are coming. So that is good bunny food. And this is the area with my trees. Most of my fruit trees are down here. I've got pluots with pluots on them. More of the sweet woodruff and some hostas and some mint, some self-heal, some penstemon, a couple of fig trees up there, and natural ferns growing up. I've got rosemary. And I was noticing in the video from a year ago, I had talked about my wild thyme, and I didn't notice it recently, but there it is, and it's doing well. And I've got a couple of the California lilacs, which are natural to this area. And on the hill by the birdhouse there, we have my columbine, which has come back from last year. But everything is doing very nicely. And my apples are coming along, even though the deer love to chew on them. And I did this little guy here. It has a little extra on it today. I bought a flowering sedum, and I have the regular lime sedum that has a yellow flower to it, which I put in here, and that grows wild here, so all I did was transplant that. And I transplanted my ginger mint. Oh, and I see a little bit of the sweet woodruff on the side there. But I do have mint in various areas here. And I have wild, I think this is supposed to be a wild lupin. We're a natural lupin. But this is my fruit grove down here. And everything's doing well. The only thing I have that has actually set fruit is the pluot here. And whether the squirrels have gotten to it. Oh no, I see some up there. Oh, they're still there. They're still in there. Ah, see them? So it seems to be dense enough that the squirrels haven't gotten to them yet, which is nice. And there's Punky in her kennel. So yes, it has come a long ways from just having the inserts to put in the ground, and I had to do all above ground construction because I couldn't dig into the tree roots and disturb the trees. So I had to go above ground and just fill in around and do the hilly type gardens around the ponds. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I have a little Japanese fern over here, which I really should get more of them because they are very attractive. Isn't that pretty? And down there I have a couple of Pacific Northwest rhododendrons. And those will probably, that big one will probably flower next year, which will be nice. I've got a really smaller one, about 6 inches tall, so that'll take a few years. But yes, I have all sorts of birds and squirrels and raccoons and possums and coyotes that come through here on a regular basis, plus deer. So I think it's come along very nicely. So over and out from Lachan Pond in Port Orchard, Washington. Oh, and of course crows. Dipper and his family of 5 come down on a regular basis. And they're responsible for the holes in the large hostas. Bye for now.